Good morning everybody and welcome to Golf Drills for the Lounge number 4. I hope you all enjoyed video number 3 where we talked about the correct direction of the wrist hinge in the backswing, and I hope you're finding that drill useful that we talked about to develop the feeling of a correct wrist hinge whilst at the same time strengthening your hand and forearm. Great indoor drill to keep those golfing muscles strong. Today I'm going to take that a stage further and say, right, if you're starting to train the feeling of the direction the wrists can turn, we've got to make sure that the body can be able to continue to turn in the second half of the backswing to achieve a powerful coil. And the more that I coach people, I'm absolutely convinced that 90% of all swing faults come from where people's bodies are able to go, and the fault occurs because they're only going where their body can go rather than where we'd like it to go. So today I'd like to show you how stiffness and lack of mobility in the shoulders can very much lead to a steep swing with an arm lift and a position that gets very steep on the way down and out to in swing, which can cause fat shots, top shots, pull shots to the left, slices, all those ones that we hate. So it's all to do with how much your shoulders and arms can move backwards. If you're very stiff, you can make a lovely one-piece takeaway, get to this sort of position, but if your arms and shoulders aren't able to move backwards as your chest turns, you can end up in a position where the shaft stays forward no matter how much you're trying to turn your chest, and you get this steep position here which can lead to out to in swing path and all those shots I described. If your shoulders are very loose and can move backwards freely, then as your chest rotates in the second half of the backswing, this can move back freely with it so that you get this wrist hinge we talked about in video number 3, and you can see how you can turn and get the club on plane and you're able to uncoil powerfully with that in to square to in swing path. So a simple way to measure your shoulder flexibility is to stand up against a wall, make sure your heels are touching the wall. Gently put your elbows up to the side, see how close you can get your elbows to the wall. Sometimes people can't do that, but you're going to get your elbows as close to the wall as you can. Then you're going to move the back of your hands back, see if you can get the back of your hands to touch the wall. And then if your pelvis is forward, you've got to really pull your pelvis in, use your core muscles. You're trying to pull your hips and pelvis down and in as tight to the wall as you can. Now when I first started this drill, I used to be a long way forward, probably a good 12 inches forward with my wrists away from the wall, unable to get that stretch back there because of the tightness in my shoulders. And even this morning I did a bit of a workout on the upper body this weekend, and that tightness meant I had to do some stretches to be able to achieve that position. So that's a good measuring point to see how much flexibility. Yes, it acts as a stretch, but it's a bit of a measure to see how close you can get your wrists to the wall. So now I'm going to give you a couple of great stretching drills which are just going to start to gently open up your shoulders. And these are the things, if you do these every day over the next few weeks of lockdown, you'll massively improve your range of movement here, enabling your arms and shoulders to freely turn with your chest in the backswing. So let's show you. Okay, so all we're going to do, just lie on the floor, on your side, with your knees tight together, put your hands out in front of you, outstretched so that your flats of your hands are facing each other, and you're just simply going to take your right arm all the way over behind you, keeping it dead straight, as close as you can to the floor. Hold it there gently, and then return to the same position, hands together, and then over again, keeping the arm absolutely straight, letting gravity gently take it over. You might have to stop here at first. You'll feel a really big stretch all through there. And as you get better and better, you'll be able to get to the point where you can touch the floor. So you're going to do that 10 times with the right arm, and then reverse your position. Now the important thing when you do this as well as keeping the arms straight, is that you must keep your knees tight together. At first you'll find your knees separating like this, which makes it much easier to reach the floor. You've got to keep those knees really tight together, even if it means you can't reach the floor. Just hold it there. You can let gravity gently pull on the shoulder, don't force it. It will just improve as the days go by, and as you get better and better, you'll be able to roll over there and get that hand touching the floor. So that's the first drill, 10 on each side. The second one is arm circles. So starting from exactly the same position, you're going to sweep your arm back past your ear, past your head, in a circle all the way round, and return it to the first position. The key thing here is to keep your arm absolutely straight. As you start to feel a big stretch, you don't want to do this sort of thing here. Keep your arm absolutely straight. At first you might find you can't keep anywhere near the ground. You might have to go like this with your arm a good 1 to 2 feet off the ground. But again, as the days and weeks go by, you'll be able to keep that hand closer and closer to the ground with the arm straight as it sweeps round. So the first thing is you must keep the arm straight. Second thing is, again, keep those knees together. When you get here, if it's tough, again, don't let the knees separate. Keep the knees tight together, keep the arm straight, sweeping round, returning to the initial position. And then again, just rolling over to the other side. Same starting position, now it's the other arm up past the ear, keeping the arm straight, keeping the knees together, return, sweeping round as slowly as you like, really feeling a big stretch in there. You start to do that regularly a few times a week, you're really going to get some mobility there, and that's going to enable your arms and chest to turn together in the backswing, stop any disconnections which can affect your swing plane. So really get stuck in with that. This can make more of a difference to your golf swing than going out hitting balls every day. Fantastic opportunity to keep developing and improving our motion in the swing. So give it a go, and I'll see you tomorrow.